Hello, beautiful beings. I have recently popped out of a major shed that I just went through. Long story short, there's been a maintenance man that I've been around for the last several weeks, and since I'm empathic, I can feel his desire towards me. And basically been gaslighting myself into feeling like I shouldn't feel how I'm feeling, and I should be able to just detach myself from his energy and his thoughts and all that stuff. Well, I can't. It's exhausting when I'm around somebody, especially a man, and I'm feeling his desire towards me, and he keeps trying to be in my space. So Moonstar and I held satsang this morning, and I was outside just bawling because the mental activity has just been so severe the last couple days, starting yesterday morning when he showed up at the lake house that I was cleaning. Well, if I haven't resolved something, it's going to keep coming up. And so the clarity I got from the satsang we held this morning was that I needed to speak up in the moment. And I have not been speaking up to this person because he seems like such a nice person and he's really not doing anything wrong. He just wants me. So, but for me, that's why I clean houses. That's a major reason why I clean houses, is so I'm not subjected to other people's energy. So, I sent him a voice clip. I tried many times because they all felt like they were coming out very angry, and I didn't want to come across as angry. So I felt like the one that I actually ended up sending him was really good. And it was just explaining that, how empathic I am, how I can feel his energy towards me, how I can feel his thoughts that are coming towards me, and how when he seeks me out in the house and tries to have a small talk conversation with me, I know it's because he wants to get to know me and he wants to have some kind of conversation with me. But I said the attention is 100% unwanted. I told him why I clean houses, and how I need my space, and please don't come in my space anymore. I'm trying so hard not to be mean about it, but it's imperative that you do not come in my space anymore. There's no reason for him to at all, ever. So I left him that one, and then a really short one after that saying, please don't message me. Please don't call me or message me apologizing, because you really didn't do anything wrong. You didn't know how empathic I am. You didn't know I could feel these things coming from you. So just please send me a thumbs up if you were able to listen to these voice clips. And I was feeling a sense of relief, uh, just because I took some action and spoke my truth. That usually always brings relief, speaking my truth. It's definitely not the easiest thing to do, but it's most definitely worth it. So 2.5 hours went by and nothing. And so it's still not resolved. And so they said, message him. And so I messaged him and I said, were you able to listen to those voice clips yet? And he immediately got back to me and said, yes. And he said, I understand, which I was very surprised that he said that. And I said, great, thank you, with the prayer hands. And he sent back, no problem. So that was about an hour ago now. And I feel so good that that is resolved and this person is going to stop trying to be around me. It's such a relief. Oh my gosh, it's such a relief. I was basically gaslighting myself, telling myself for the last several weeks that I should have learned by now how to, protect myself from what he's feeling and what he's thinking. Well, I haven't learned that yet. I'm still working on it. I don't even know if it's going to be possible. But it's definitely been affecting me, and so now I get to go to work and not worry about that. And so anytime I go through a major shed like this, when something is being shed, there is no not thinking about it. It is up. it is coming up over my eyes, whatever it is, and then clarity comes. And it always does. Clarity always comes. I just feel very scared when there's that much mental activity, because, well, it is. It's always scary to me because my mind used to be like that 24/7 for years and years. And so I still get kind of scared when that happens. And I feel like I'm going to be that way forever. And I don't really understand what's happening as I'm going through it, but it always does pass. Especially being able to hold song about it, and getting clarity with that. And so I always ask myself after I've been through a major shed, okay, what do I need to do to avoid this situation in the future? And that's what I got out of I pointed this direction because that's where Moonstar and I held satsang this morning out in the yard, was that, I needed to speak up in the moment. And, of course that's never comfortable to do, but it's definitely worth it. So from now on, if another, for example, maintenance man comes around to where I'm working and I start feeling that he's trying to interject himself into my energy and my experience, and I'm feeling his sexual desire towards me, and what a great mate he thinks I'd be, and all the different barrage of thoughts that are coming at me from this person, I will speak up in the moment. I don't know exactly what I'll say, but I'll try to say what I mean what I say, and not say it meanly. I didn't make that up, but it's a good one. And if I do say it meanly and I need to make amends, I can always do that also. But it's definitely worth speaking up to keep my peace. So, and this man will honor this. He will not be trying to make up excuses to come into my space. I've recorded so many of these videos today, but I was still so emotionally charged and exhausted from my lesson for the last couple days that my mind was just trying to overcomplicate the whole thing. So hopefully I didn't repeat myself too much. Ancients, is there anything else? Yeah, this happened after like a 3-day, I was on this, I thought I was an ascended master all of a sudden because because I've been working at this stuff specifically for 10.5 years. Since I was able to access presence with Mooji that day, I know where to turn my attention to. I know what presence feels like, my own natural state of being. And so a few days ago when the ancient said, if something is bothering you, stop thinking about it. Oh, it was so profoundly simple. It summed up the whole ascension process to me. And I felt like I had arrived at this place of that nothing was ever going to bother me again, because I would just be able to turn my attention to presence and all thoughts would dissolve because I'm not paying attention to them. No, not when something needs addressed and it's not resolved. It will just keep coming up, which I'm grateful for because now it's cleared out. Now I won't ever have to go through this again. And I absolutely will not, because if I try to tell myself that, oh, this or that, da 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 da, no, I know where it leads to. It leads to a tsunami of thinking, which I would much rather speak up in the moment than take the chance of having that happen. There was a saying that came in 1998. I was laying in bed and my mind was just racing so bad. I was trying to find a place for myself and my 3 daughters to live. They were all little girls at the time. And I've had a lot of that in my life, not knowing where I'm going to go next. But it's definitely been for my highest ascension, for my highest growth. But it was a lot more difficult when I had little kids. And I was laying there and I was just sobbing. Just because just round and round and round and round and no solution at all. Just round and round and round and round. Where are you going to go? La, 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 la. And all of a sudden, and I was laying on my right side, but that's where it came in. That's where I heard, let your mind race if it will. Don't try so hard to stop it. Behind the cloud of imaginary confusion, everything is happening right on schedule. I didn't even have to write it down ever. I did write it down later. I painted it on pieces of paper with sparkly glue or whatever, and I gave that to people for presents, the people in my family, because it was just so profoundly beautiful. And after that was whispered in my ear, I had my mind was completely quiet, and I didn't remember ever experiencing that before. I didn't realize that I had just accessed presence, my own true nature. And I went right to sleep, and the next day I found us a place to live. So it is, I know that when I'm going through a major shed and there's the tsunami of thoughts, there's a lot of fear in that. And for some reason, I forgot to say the fear prayer this time. But I said a lot of other prayers, and I did what I could to stay present. I did the very best I could, and I always do. And I need to write myself a piece of paper saying, um, this won't last, this won't last forever. Because when I'm in it, I don't know when it's going to end. And that to me is like the scariest part, but it always does. And there's always clarity. So if you feel like you're being tortured by your mind, we would love to talk to you about that and see what comes through for you from the ancients. Love you so much.